Okay, now we're recording this session. Okay, guys, so welcome to our class number 8.1 actually. We are going to have today our first class of the week number 8, right? It's going to be the 8.1, right? Class is going to be actually super simple. It's not going to be complicated at all. It's a topic which is easy as usual, right? And I'm going to start with a simple question today. Look at this. Andre, could you please help me to read this text that is here in the board?
There is a mystery. Someone stole a mobile, but nobody knows who did it.
Exactly. Here it's a mistake. Nobody knows who did it. Very good. So there is a mystery. Someone stole a mobile, but nobody knows who did it. So the subject of this sentence is an incognita. We could say that someone stole a mobile. Yeah, someone stole a mobile. The subject is not clear. It's someone, but it's not a specific person. Then we have the action, and then we have the complement, not comes, verb, and complement. But the subject is an incognita. No idea who did the action, right? Who do you think who did the action? Who do you think that was the person who stole the cell phone? Any ideas?
No, I don't know.
No idea. Andre, maybe you have any idea? Any?
No, teacher.
No idea. It's an incognita. We don't know. So it's like IDK, like I don't know, no idea, right? Okay, very good. There is another picture. In this picture, it says, Manu, could you please help me to read the text?
The random reporter interviews the famous celebrity.
Good. The random reporter interviews the famous celebrity. Here we have the famous celebrity, and here we have the random reporter. The famous celebrity, of course, the name is, I don't know, let's say Scarlett Johansson. You know, Johansson, I think it's like that. Bueno, maybe it's like that, no? And the random reporter, I don't know who's the name of that reporter. I know that it's a reporter from a channel that is BBC. I know that it's from the BBC TV station, but I don't know the name of the man. It's a random reporter. What is the meaning of random when I say a random person?
Like aleatorio?
Like it is not a specific person. It could be anyone, right?
Okay.
Good, very good. So when I say random reporter, it's a person. I know that it's a reporter because he's interviewing the Scarlett Johansson celebrity, but I don't know the name of the man. In that case, again, our subject, when I say the random reporter, it's an incognita. The subject, one more time, it's going to be an incognita. Yes, we have the action, and then we have the complement. Yes, we have the verb and the complement, but the subject is an incognita. We don't know who is the subject. We don't know who is doing the action. So today, we are going to learn what can we do when we have these kind of sentences and the subject is not clear or is not, I mean, here the subject is not important because it's more important the celebrity, and here the subject is not clear because we don't know who did it, no? So we're going to have two different cases, and in both cases, the subject is not clear. When we have a sentence and the subject is not clear, we are going to use, what do you think? Do you know any structure for that reason? Any structure for that use?
Simple present.
Simple present could be yes, and also simple past, because over here, for example, here we use the reporter interviews the famous celebrity, simple present. And here, someone stole a mobile, simple past. But the problem again is that the subject is not clear. So today we are going to learn how can we use the passive voice. Have you ever listened about the passive voice? ¿Alguna vez lo han escuchado about the passive voice?
No, teacher.
No, never.
Yes, a little.
A little, okay. Well, the passive voice, it's not a tense, no es un tiempo. It's an structure or a way to organize the sentence that can work with any tense. Es una forma de organizar una oración que puede funcionar con cualquier tiempo, right? But it's not a tense, o sea, no es un tiempo como tal. So, the passive voice, it's going to be, a ver, help me to read, my dear Andrea, it's your turn, help me to read, until the first period, until here, please, until that period.
The passive voice is used when we don't know the subject who made the action, or also when the action is more important than the subject who does it.
That's it, who does it. Muy bien, very good, excellent. And Manu, continue.
Okay, that is why we have to start with the object of the sentence.
Bueno, muy bien, very good. So, as Andrea read before, yes, they said the passive voice is used first when we do not know the subject who made the action. Like, for example, in the situation of the robbery. I don't know the subject. It's an incognita, we don't know. Or also when the action is more important than the subject. So in that case, for example, here, what is more important, the person, the reporter, or the action of the interview to Scarlett Johansson? No, pues it's more important the action. So in that case, again, I'm going to use the passive voice, right? So they say, as the subject is not clear or is not important, that is why we have to start with the object of the sentence. The object of the sentence is going to be that part at the end of in the complement part. In our complement, we have a little part which is called the object. The object is the one that is going to receive the action that we mentioned before. For example, in this case, we said that a random reporter interviews. ¿A quién? Who is interviewing? Who is receiving the action?
Very famous celebrity.
A very famous celebrity was Scarlett Johansson, that we know that's the name. So in this case, this is the complement, and also that is the object. It's receiving the action. Also here, someone stole a mobile. ¿Qué se robaron? What did they steal?
A mobile.
Mobile. So the mobile here is the object that is being stolen. O sea, es el que recibe la acción de ser robado. So in that case, that one is the object. Sometimes yes.
Or for example, yeah, sorry, teacher. It can be a mobile was stolen.
Muy bien, very good. That's a passive voice. We're going to see how was that. Ya lo vamos a ver cómo se arma, pero sí, exactamente, that is the passive voice, right?
Okay.
Sometimes we have an object and another part of the complement. For example, we could say, someone stole a mobile yesterday. Yesterday is the complement of time. That complement is not going to be moved. The only thing that I am interested in is in the object, right? The same here, for example, the random reporter interviews the famous celebrity in the Oscars celebration. The Oscars, how did you say that? Ceremony. That one is the complement of place. Also, that complement is not going to change. The only thing that I am interested in is in the object, no? So they say, hey, pilas, we have then to start the sentence with the object of the sentence. So, okay, good, no problem. We are going to take that object, yes, we're going to take that object and we're going to put it to the beginning of the sentence. So, normally, we have subject, verb, and complement, and in the complement, we have the object, yes? So that object is the one that I am going to move. I'm going to take the object and I am going to pass it to the front of the sentence. So changing the object is going to go to the end of the sentence, right? If it's necessary, not always, sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not necessary. We're going to see when. Vamos a ver cuál. But in this case, the object is the most important part. Is going to be the most important part. So the object is going to go to the beginning of our sentence, yeah? In this case, for example, Scarlett Johansson or the famous celebrity, or the mobile. You know, that one was the object in the first sentence, and in the second one was the famous celebrity, or Scarlett Johansson, as you prefer, you know, celebrity. That one is the object. So it's going to go to the beginning of the sentence. After that, we have to include the verb to be. When we talk about the passive voice, the clue, la clave, it's putting verb to be plus a verb in past participle. Siempre, verb to be plus a verb in past participle. And that verb to be, it's going to be in the tense corresponding, en el tiempo correspondiente. ¿Cuál es el tiempo correspondiente? El mismo tiempo en el que estaba la voz activa. For example, here, I use someone stole a mobile. That one, it's the verb steal, but it's in simple past. ¿Cierto? In simple past, right? So the verb to be that I'm going to include is in simple past. That's why, for example, Manuel said a mobile
Was stolen.
was, right? Past simple of verb to be. Always verb to be plus the verb in past participle. The verb to be in simple past was. And then the other verb in the past participle. What is the past participle of the verb steal? Stolen, very good. So a mobile was stolen, right? That one is an action or is a sentence in passive voice. When I say, a mobile was stolen, not clear who did it, no idea, but was stolen. It's something that happened, but the subject is an incognita. We don't know, right? Can be was or can be were, because the verb to be has two different ways, no? For example, if I say millions of dollars were stolen, right? Why were? Because millions of dollars is plural, so that's why we use were. So I could say, for example, millions of dollars were stolen last month, maybe. Remember that the complement of time is going to stay at the end, no problem, ready? So no problem. But then the change is with the object. Millions of dollars were stolen last month. In active voice, someone stole millions of dollars last month in active voice. But then now it's better to use the passive voice because the subject is not clear, right? So in that case, the verb to be is going to be in the corresponding tense. Sometimes it's in past, sometimes it's in present, sometimes it's in present continuous. We are going to see. And then we include the same verb, el mismo verbo, the same verb, but always in the past participle form. Always, always, always in the past participle form, right? After that, we are going to include complement if I have it, si lo tengo. Complement of time, complement of place, complement of manner, you know, different complements that we have. The only thing that we have to change from the beginning is the object, no more. Yes. For example, the mobile was stolen yesterday, complement of time, no matter. The mobile was stolen in my house, complement of place. Yes. The mobile was stolen very carefully, complement of manner. So in that case, those kind of complements, they are going to remain at the end of the sentence, right? Come on, hasta ahí. Good questions, problems.
Good,
Fine.
teacher.
Yes, good, no problem.
Fine.
Andre?
Teacher, can you tell me an example with a verb in present,
Of course,
please?
of course, of course. Now, this one was in past. This one is in present. The sentence is in present. The sentence in active voice is in present. So the sentence in passive voice also have to be in present. So the same, I take the object to the beginning, right? A famous celebrity. So I said, listo, the famous celebrity or a famous celebrity, you know, the object, listo. And then remember, verb to be plus verb in past participle. Interview is the verb and is in simple present. Ya sé que está en simple present, right? So, the verb to be has to be in simple present. ¿Cómo es el simple present de verb to be? How is the simple present of verb to be? Has three forms.
Is, are.
Is, and are. Good. That is the three forms of the simple present of the verb to be. In this case, I only need one. A famous celebrity am, are, is. Is, of course, because in that case, of course, the famous celebrity is she, no? So I would say a famous celebrity, verb to be, is interviewed, is a regular verb, interviewed. And then it's important to say by whom, right? By a random reporter. If I want it. If I don't want it, not necessary. I could say a famous celebrity is interviewed in the Oscar ceremony. That's it. If I want to express, no by a random reporter. No more. That's it. Not important, right? So in that case, when I use the verb, the passive voice in simple present, the verb to be is the one that is going to be in present because the other verb always is in past participle. Okay, Andre? Yes, more or less.
Thank you, teacher.
Yes. Wait, don't worry. Anyway, we're going to go. You are going to see many different examples in both classes, in present and in past. Well, guys, in this case, in this page, you are going to find, just copy and paste it. That web page is only about the passive voice in all its forms. The general structure, the general change, and here we have the passive voice in all the tenses. In simple present, in simple past, we are going to watch both today, and in other tenses, present continuous, present perfect, simple future, passive voice with modals. You just have to click it there, and it's going to show you the structure. Simple present is or are, and the verb in past participle. Simple past was, were, and the verb in past participle. Present continuous is being or are being and the verb in past participle. So today we're going to focus in these two. A passive voice in simple present and passive voice in simple past. Ready? But let's start with the past first. Okay? When we talk about the passive voice, then the most important thing is that we don't care about the subject. Or maybe it's not so important as the action that they did it. So when we talk about passive voice in the past, we're going to talk about things that were done, but the action was more important than the subject. For example, I'm going to give you an example. We have a book in Colombian literature, which is called La Maria. That book is very, very famous. Everybody have read, or well, most of people have read La Maria. It's a very beautiful novel, and it's very old. Have you ever listened about La Maria? ¿Alguna vez la han escuchado?
No.
No, never.
No.
Andre, ¿alguna vez la has escuchado? No, never.
Yes, but I didn't read it.
Okay, she didn't read. Now the question is, who was its author? Who was its author? Any ideas?
No, teacher.
No idea, right? So the book is very famous, but the person who wrote it, it's not so famous. Well, the man, it's called Jorge Isaacs. You know, actually, he was in the 50,000 pesos bill. Estaba en el billete de 50 en el anterior. Now it's Gabriel Garcia, of course, but he was in the bill before. He's Jorge Isaacs, right? So that's one of the things that I can say in the past, like were done, yes. And in that case, for including the subject, it's better to include the preposition by and the person, right? So I could say in active voice, Jorge Isaacs wrote La Maria, or the other way. La Maria was, pues ya sabemos que es was, were, and the verb in past participle, was written by Jorge Isaacs, for example, right? For example, who was the person in charge of the boats that conquered America in 1492? 1492 arrived three different boats, three different ships, La Niña, La Pinta, La Santa Maria. Who was in charge of that? What was the name of the man?
Cristóbal Colón.
Christopher Columbus, in English, Christopher Columbus. So in that case, what do you think is more important? The discovery of America or the man? What is more important? The discovery of the America or the man? Or the man?
The discovers America.
Of course, no, because, well, Christopher Columbus was just a man. But
Yeah.
what he did was incredible, no? That changed all the world. So in that case, I could say, instead of saying that Christopher Columbus discovered America, I can change it and give it more importance to the action. America was discovered
By Christopher Colón.
by Christopher Columbus, of course.
Columbus.
Very good. Good. So you see, there are two different ways to use the passive voice. When the person it's, I don't know the person, or when the person is not so important as the action that the person did, right? Usually when we talk about the past, we can talk about usually about these things, no? For example, books, you know, movies, paintings, applications and companies, inventions, history, different things. Depending on the object that we're talking about, the verb is going to be different, right? For example, here when we talk about the books, well, of course, we can use words like written, maybe created, maybe developed, yeah, maybe produced, yeah, maybe invented, right? Maybe corrected. Maybe when we talk about movies, directed, right? Also produced, also what other? Performed. Performed when we talk about the roles in the movies. For example, I don't know, Deadpool. Deadpool is a superhero, no? So Deadpool was performed by Ryan Reynolds. Perform is like interpretado, no? So like when we talk about the different characters. Also, when we talk about history, you can say, for example, discover, sorry, or conquered. What is the meaning of conquered?
Conquistar.
Conquistar, very good, excellent. No conquistar románticamente, sino de, bueno, de un pueblo al otro, ¿vale? Paintings, of course, we can use drawn, past participle of draw, painted, yeah. Also created, developed, design, maybe. Design, right? The same with applications. Developed, yes, design, produce, yeah, right? Created, started when we talk about companies, or founded. What is the meaning of founded?
Dada.
Fundar, muy bien, very good. In that case, fundada, very good. Okay. I can say managed, you know, like administrada, right? And in this case, also invented, yeah, created, yeah, imagined, design. Well, depending the object, we can have different situations in there, right? Different verbs depending on the object, right? For example, we have a book. Now let's talk about other different thing. Well, we have, for example, the application Facebook, this one, no? So what do you think about Facebook? Who was the person who created Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Good. So I can say Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook. That's it. But I think that Facebook, the application, the company, is bigger than the man. It's more important. So I want to change it to the passive voice. How could you do that in passive voice?
Facebook was founded by Mark Zuckerberg.
Excellent. Facebook was founded by Mark Zuckerberg, right? No problem. Or for example, um, let's say, well, here we have one painting which is called El Grito. ¿Alguna vez la han visto? It's like the face of a man that is doing like this. ¿Alguna vez la han visto? Yes.
Yes.
Anybody knows who painted it? ¿Quién la pintaría? Who painted that?
I don't know. Da Vinci? No.
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 Andre, any ideas? Who painted it?
I don't know.
No idea. Well, the painter of El Grito, it's called Edvard Munch. Edward, I think it's like Munch or something like that, but something like that, Edvard Munch. So I can say, for example, Edvard Munch painted El Grito. Easy. But if I want to describe that the painting, El Grito, it's more important than Edvard Munch, how could you do it, Andrea? Try to do it in the passive voice.
El Grito was painted by Edward Munch.
Así de sencillo. Very good. El Grito was painted by Edvard Munch. Ready? ¿Qué tal? Easy, questions, difficulties, en pasado solamente, problems.
No problem, teacher.
No,
problem.
teacher.
Listo, good.
Teacher, can I say, for example, the telephone was changed by the mobile?
Sure, of
or
course.
cell phone?
Yeah, well, in that case, you
Sorry.
could say change it or replace, right?
Replace.
Yeah, very good also, yes.
Okay.
Muy bien, excellent, right? It's an excellent example of that. Bueno, very good. Let's see if you didn't get it or not. Vamos a ver, let's see if you got it or not. Well, in this case, I have different objects, objects of different naturalities, like movies and companies and plays and characters and different things. For example, here I have the movie Titanic. I have the example, Titanic was directed by James Cameron, right? Guys, start looking into the different objects and try to solve it. Try to create an example with one of the objects. Ready? As soon as you have it, tell me so we can start scratching the objects that we tell. Okay? Let's see.
Teacher, excuse me, I don't understand.
Don't worry. Here in the screen, we have different objects, ready? Like, for example,
Yes.
Titanic, dinosaurs, Wolverine, the national anthem, which is el himno nacional, Romeo and Juliet, different objects, ready? So what you have to do is to think, okay, who was the person who did that, right? For example, Titanic, it's a movie. So we said, okay, when we talk about a movie, we can say produced or directed or developed. So in that case, I said Titanic was directed by James Cameron. Listo, fin, that's it. Think about Amazon. So
I have an example yet. William Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet.
That one is in active voice, so now in passive.
Romeo and Juliet was written by William Shakespeare.
Very good. Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet was written by William Shakespeare. Perfecto. Cross. Listo. Any other? Think.
Teacher, the Twin Towers was fallen in September of 2011.
2001, ¿no? 2001, right? Good.
Yeah.
Listo, good. Fall es el verbo caer, right? But we don't say fueron caídas. We said, like, for example, they were turned down, which is derrumbadas. Turn down es derrumbar, o simplemente destroyed, which would be destroyed, right? So, the Twin Towers, como son dos, bueno, como eran dos, were destroyed or were turned down in September 2001. Muy bien, thank you so much, very good. ¿Qué más? Any other?
Amazon. Amazon is a big company of delivers. Like
Okay.
that.
That one is good, but it's in active voice and it's impressive.
Yes, and passive voice. How do you say it? I is it so a little difficult this one.
The founder, who was the founder of the company? What was the person who founded?
I don't know. Let me search.
The name is Jeff Bezos.
Ah, yeah, yes, Bezos.
So,
Well, Amazon was founded by James Bezos.
good. Amazon was founded by Jeff Bezos. That's good. Very good. Right? Excellent. Yeah. Can you tell me who was the person who performed the character of Wolverine in all the movies? Is it always the same?
Oh, easy. Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman Wolverine was performing by Hugh Jackman.
Perfect. Wolverine was performed by Hugh Jackman. Excellent. And Colombian history lesson. Who was the person who wrote the national anthem? The person who wrote it, the lyrics. That is Colombian history.
I don't know.
No idea. Who was the person who wrote it, and also who was the person who composed the music of the national anthem? Because it's a different person. One person wrote it, and the other person composed the music. Any ideas?
No, teacher.
Oh my God, history in Colombia is bad. Okay, so the person, I'm going to give you the two names. I don't know. You tell me who did what thing. One person is Rafael Núñez. No sé, maybe he composed it, maybe he wrote it. I don't know. And the other person was Orestes. Orestes, I think it's Sindichi, if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong. Si no estoy mal. Entonces, bueno, no sé. Tell me. ¿Quién hizo qué?
No, maybe Rafael Núñez.
Así pues.
Ah, okay. National anthem was written by Rafael Núñez.
Good. The national anthem
And,
was written. Dale, dale, dale.
National Anthem of Colombia was composed by Orestes Sindichi.
Exactly. Good. So the national anthem was written by Rafael Núñez and composed, the music was composed by Orestes Sindichi. ¿Listo? Hasta ahí, guys. ¿Cómo la ven? Easy, difficult, problems, not easy, no problem. What do you think?
No problem, teacher. No.
Relax. Right?
It's okay, teacher.
Listo, muy bien, very good. Bueno, guys, Over here, good. The next part is what happened when we try to use the passive voice in the present. Remember that in that case, the only thing that I have to use is the verb to be in present. It means is or are, depending. And again, one more time, the verb in past participle. It's the same structure, but with the verb to be in present, but it's exactly the same. In that case, we use it for talking about things that are done around the world, but the subject, again, is not clear or is not so important. For example, the economical facts of a country, the money that is used, the industrial processes, the technological processes, the agricultural of the country, the sports, and in general, all the different facts of a country that it's important, but it's done by everybody. The subject who does it is not specific. It's not specifically one person. It's in general the country. So for that reason, it's better to use the passive voice in these cases. For example, the bananas in Colombia, where the people produce bananas, in what part of Colombia?
Urabá.
In Urabá. But it's a specific person, or it's like in general the people there? Or it's a specific person, it's Don Pedro and no more? Or more
No.
people? It's a lot
No,
of people.
it's a lot of people, yeah.
Exactly, it's a lot of people. So the subject, one more time, is not clear because it's so many people that we don't have a specific subject. We have many, right? So in that case, instead of saying that the people in Urabá produce bananas, I can say, of course, giving more importance to the product, saying that bananas are, because it's plural, of course, are produced. In that case, I am not going to include by because I don't want to say any subject. I prefer to use in and the place. Bananas are produced in Urabá, Antioqueño from Colombia, for example, right? I could say. Or for example, the cocoa is produced in the Caribbean coast, something like that, you know? So in that case, we're gonna have, again, the product first, then the verb to be, and then the verb in past participle. But the complement is going to be better in and the place. In Colombia, in the United States, in Spain, in France, in Europe, so on, so on. Okay? So, for example, when we talk about economy, or economical facts, we can use verbs like, for example, bought, past participle of buy, sold, yeah, imported, exported, bargain. What is the meaning of bargain?
Or
What is the meaning of that? Bargain?
Vargos, algo así.
No.
No.
Bargain is when the people say like, okay, 2 kilos for 20 million. No, 25 million. No, 32 million. Yeah. So it's start doing business, like negociar, bargain, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Muy bien, very good. So sold, bought, imported, exported, but bargain, right? Or when we talk about, in general, money, I can say, of course, used. Yeah, like the money is used, right? The money is required, produced also, managed, depending the intention, managed, right? When we talk about agricultural products, in that case, we have a lot, right? For example, we can have grown, which is the most common one. Grown. Also, we can talk about harvested, like cosechados, harvested. Yeah. We can say also cultivated, right? Also, in general, produced, right? So we have different verbs. And when we talk about animals, we can say raised, which is like criados, something like that. Also, when we talk about technology and industries, we can say, of course, for example, imported, developed, design, well, the same verbs that we used before, but with another different intention, right? Also, we could have the verb manufacture, which is really important for specific industrial products, no? Manufactured. Also, we could have a, what was the other one? Manufactured, sold, assembled. Shoot, sorry. Assembled. Assembled. What is the other one? Well, created, developed, all the ones that we already saw. And sports, you know, played, practice, watched, maybe, right? You can use any different verbs, that all the different verbs that you can imagine. Well, we have, for example, when we talk about the economical products, we talk about the language, which is also used with spoken, no? For example, Spanish is spoken in Colombia, English and French are spoken in Canada. I don't know, Spanish is spoken in Latin America, Portuguese is spoken in Brazil, so on, so on, right? So in that case, it depends entirely on your intention. We have many different verbs. All of them are working with the same structure, you know? So in that case, the idea is that you can use the one that you prefer, okay? Questions over here, más o menos, easy, difficult.
Teacher, I have a question. Solo hace en español. ¿Uno cómo sabe cuándo en la frase es más importante la acción que el sujeto?
Depende mucho de tu intención, André, porque pues digamos, en este caso yo quiero decir, no, es que los pobres campesinos del Urabá antioqueño están produciendo mucho banano. En ese caso, quiero enfatizar en el sujeto. Entonces, la misma oración que acabamos de hacer en Passive Voice, la puedo hacer en Active Voice, simplemente porque yo quiero enfatizar el sujeto. Si no, si yo quiero darle más importancia, no es que el banano, el no sé qué y son producidos en Antioquia. Entonces, bueno, ya no me importa tanto quién los produce, sino quiero es enfatizar el producto. Entonces, ahí es donde, digamos, empiezo a usar Passive Voice. Digamos que el Passive Voice depende del foco que tú le quieras dar a la oración. ¿Quieres enfatizar en lo que, en la persona como tal? Voz activa, normal. Si quieres enfatizar más en la acción o en el producto final, en la consecuencia, voz pasiva. Pero, digamos, depende. Por eso están las dos formas, porque depende de tu intención. ¿Vale?
O sea que uno nunca va a ver, por ejemplo, una frase en voz pasiva que tenga un sujeto específico.
De pronto al final, y no es necesario. Digamos que justamente la voz pasiva es porque no tiene sujeto específico. O, digamos, puede tener sujeto específico, pero no es tan importante. Por ejemplo, lo que
example,
hacemos...
the bananas is cultivated in Urabá for many people, for example.
That's it, you see? But in that case, the subject is not clear, is not specific. You said by many people. Okay, what people? Not say many people, but it's not specific, right?
Okay.
Of course, I could say, for example, the best banana in Urabá is cultivated by Doña Ilma. It's an example, no? So in that case, it has a specific subject, but I want to focus that is the best banana in Urabá, okay? Then anyway, I'm going to use passive voice, right?
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. It's all right. Very good. Well, good, guys. So the important thing here is that you can identify. Well, let me just erase this part. And here we have other same idea of the previous exercise, but this time in present. So you see, for example, the Quechua, of course, the Quechua is a not native language, no? So I could say that the Quechua is spoken in South America, in Peru, I think in Bolivia, I'm not sure, but I think it's in some parts of South America, right? So the language first is spoken in South America. Who? By people, of course. I don't know, but the animals are not going to speak. So of course, it's people from the different tribes, but it's not specific people. So that's why I use present passive voice. Ready? Find other and try to do the same. Find others and try to do the same.
Teacher, for example, the coffee is cultivated in Colombia.
For example, the coffee is cultivated or produced or grown, cualquiera está bien, in Colombia. Wonderful, excellent. Listo, André, muy bien. What other? ¿Qué otro?
Ferrari and Maserati is a brand, is a Italy brand.
Okay, that's good. Yes, that's true. So, Ferrari and Maserati son dos diferentes, así que are, porque son dos, right?
Are, yes.
Are.
Yeah.
And then
Are.
¿qué? Son ¿qué? Like,
Are in an Italy brand.
good. So, it means that they are assembled.
They are
Assembled in
are
Italy.
in Italy. Ah, well, like that.
Right.
Ferrari and Maserati are assembled in Italy.
Oh, good, excellent, very good. In that case, for example, you said Ferrari and Maserati are Italian brands. Bien. Pero esa es una voz activa donde Ferrari and Maserati son el sujeto. That's it. Pero lo que quiero decir es que son qué? Ensambladas en Italy. Okay, that one it's a passive voice, right?
Right.
Muy bien, very good. Any other? About the money, for example, the yen, the rupees.
Rupees is in India, right? Rupees are produced in India.
Good, very good. I can also even use two verbs, are produced and used, you know, produced and used in India. Very good, excellent. Muy bien. Ready? Then that's it. Now, the difficulty might be, it's not really difficult, but it could be the difficulty in finding or analyzing if it's about the past or if it's about the present. In the previous one, I told you this is about the past or this is about the present. Now, I would like you to find some examples here, but I don't know, they can be in the past or in the present. So make your own examples with the objects that we have here in this image. Can be about the past, can be about the present, depends on you.
Oh, Avatar. Avatar was produced by James Cameron.
Exactly. Avatar was produced by James Cameron. Perfect. So in past, because the movie it's already finished. So Avatar was produced by James Cameron. Excelente. Muy bien, man. What else?
Teacher, the emeralds is found in some towns of Colombia.
Yes, very good. Pero emeralds es plural. Emeralds are.
Ah, okay. Yes.
Are found in, especially in some towns of Boyacá, no? Like in some towns of Boyacá. Muy bien.
Yes.
Excelente. ¿Qué otra? Let's see.
Another Marvel Comics was created by Stan Lee.
Exactly. Marvel Comics was created, a company created by Stan Lee, ¿no? Muy bien. Excelente. Any other? Any other? What do you think, Andre? All fine? Yes? No? Other example? I think she was having problems with the baby. Manu, dale, go ahead, bro.
Mona Lisa was was drawn by Da Vinci.
Es así, very good, by Leonardo da Vinci. Very good.
Yeah.
Muy bien, very good, excellent, bro. Reader, what about Polish? What is the meaning of Polish? Polish, ¿qué será eso? Polish.
No, Polish.
Language.
It's a language, muy bien, Andre. Where? Where is it spoken where? In what country?
Polonia.
Yes, exactly. Is spoken or used, also could be, in Poland. In English is Poland. Muy bien, that's it, right? Entonces, guys, important. It's important that you learn how to recognize if it's in the past, you know, in the past, or if it's in the present, right? Depending on what? Anyway, depending on your intention, yes. If it's something that happens every day, or if it's something that it was finished in the past, it depends on you, no? For example, in the previous one, we were talking about Apple too. And in the previous one, also Apple. But here we were talking about Apple, the company. Apple was created by Steve Jobs. Now here, I can talk about Apple is assembled in Thailandia, or not say wherever it is assembled. So, but one object can be described in the past and also in the present, depending on your intention. As usual, depends on your intention. Ready, guys? Guys, questions, difficulties, problems about this part?
No, it's just we have the mean of the origin that word to find the passive voice.
Exactly. It's just that. Ready? Bueno, guys, so we have our second class of the week. It's tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to go a little bit deeper into the passive voice. Here we just talk
Yes.
about past and present, no more, but we're going to talk about more passive voice tomorrow. So that's it. Okay, so see you tomorrow at 7? At 7?
7, yes, teacher,
Okay,
7.
Yes,
good.
teacher.
So see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. And that's it. Have a good night, sleep tight, have a good day tomorrow, and see you tomorrow at 7, okay?
So, thank you, teacher.
Have
Thank
a
you,
good night.
teacher.
Have a good night.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye-bye, bro.